Welcome to the second video of the daily diary of the Neptunes Pride 64-player Ultra mode game. A brief interruption from future Grey Mason coming at you with knowledge of how this game transpires. Um, if you watch the first video, you'll see that I got off to an outstanding start, and while my allies were generous in tech, they weren't the strongest players overall. Shepard, I was constantly thinking about, do I need to remove him? Do I need to make sure I get the star so he can't? Because he never built up enough economy. He never built up enough carriers to get his fleets to the front line. He wasn't active enough. Mario made strange decisions. He was very good about trading tech, but he wasn't a strong player either. I didn't get my stronger allies in Skilly and Alderaan until day 14. And by that point, it was a 4-on-2 because those two could not handle the onslaught because my allies that were supposed to be helping them, Mario and Shepard, were not strong enough. And so you'll see that this is a great example of it doesn't matter how great of an individual lead you get if you don't find the right allies. I was looking for allies in the middle and in the east when I knew my immediate neighbors were just not going to cut it late game, but there wasn't enough I could do. So watch this with an eye on what happens when you have a strong alliance like the Northwestern that then, you know, does quite well versus an individually strong player with a weaker alliance. This is a great example of why upfront getting the best allies at all costs is so important. Okay, back to the game. Welcome to the second video of the daily diary of the Neptunes Pride 64-player Ultra mode game. This game I'm playing is a Holy Roman Empire, and if you look at the first video, I had an outstanding start. I started down here in the corner. I had the Star Alliance with me. They were players that were generous with and went aggressive on science and gave us a really big lead. Let me flip over to what things are looking like right now. Mustachio Mario and I were strong early on, and Shepard, really the three of us, were strong from the beginning. Shepard is one of the kind of those that logs in a couple times a day, so not super active. Mario is much more attentive. And then, Skilly was a player I had played against actually in a prior game, and I really wanted to ally with him, and he and Alderaan joined the crew later on. The three of them actually were tasked with going north with our superior weapons and ran into a bit of a Goliath. Rager and Rubik, they formed alliances with Guava Trader Skryos, Amaranth, and Drakenfire. This kind of colossal Northwestern alliance is the nemesis of the game. They are the leaders of the game right now. And this line here, we actually had, Skilly and Alderaan had this whole section up here at one point. So while they were fighting it off, though, I was able to go from about here and get all of that territory. And maybe that was a mistake, but in the past, my fear was if I tried to stop them too early, it would stunt my growth because Rager was ahead of me, and this was all very easy AIs that I could clear out. So it is what it is now, and I am individually the strongest player by far in the game, with Rager being second and Rubik probably a little distant third, but he and I are the top two leaders. But as an alliance, Mario and I are still decently strong. Shepard on paper is, but he just never doesn't have enough carriers to get his fleets to the front. So our front line is collapsing. So politically, I've been talking with the rest of the board, and here's my understanding of what's going on. I'm fairly certain this alliance is set, and they will not be changing. They are 6 players strong. Up in the northwest is Tesla Samurai and the Queen of Blades. They believe they are working with Myrolus. Myrolus is a bit of a double, triple, quadruple agent playing everybody. But they believe that's these 3, and they're fighting these 2. One of the problems is, while I have the best weapons, these guys have the second best weapons, and those are not getting up to the northeast quadrant. So we'll see how that turns out if Myrolus decides to help either attack or to give them weapons and push them back. I don't know how that's going to pan out. I would not be surprised if he basically just kills Queen of Blades as well and even tries to join with this crew. In the southeast corner of the map, you have Wizard and War Maiden, who've been on the outs. They thought they were with Light Reaver, and it was this crew. They thought it was actually all pinks. Light Weaver was like, no, I'm placating them. Basically, I agreed to leave them alive if they give me tribute. And I said, well, I'm here. I can give you text now. Why don't you go fight them? And I showed them the messages that Light Reaver said, where basically they're not part of the crew, and that, hey, and Light Weaver said, no, I can go kill them myself. So their eyes have been opened, and they're going to be attacking Lightweaver now, which is really what I needed, because I need to go back and now focus here. So I've effectively gotten these three to fight, and it should be a close fight, and it could just stall them out, because I don't want either to win anytime soon. And that leaves Kronos, who is one of the biggest pains of the ass, threatening, demanding, belligerent, but I'm trying to work with him because I don't want to have to fight him right now. So the goal right now, if we switch back over to the actual game, is to finish off the Traveling Gibbs, which I've just about done. I've got my plans, my infrastructure built up to basically send almost everything, 90% of what I have up here. I told Kronos that I will not go north of from here, those three stars. I will not go beyond. So I'll just clear this and then push in, and he can push in up top. This is kind of a moment of truth where is he with us or not? And what's my role that's going to do? I have a sense of, I think I know what everyone else is doing, but these two players are kind of pivotal. If either one attack me, I could fend them off, but that's just going to be more problematic for dealing with the Northwestern team. So I'm going to begin, and we'll see whose side they are with. Cycle 22. We had some questions yesterday about the intentions of Kairos, and we have some answers. There's actually a lot of political things at play. So let's start off with Kairos and some communications between us that basically made me realize it's not going to work out. So basically he came back and said, I don't want you to take the Traveling Gibbs. He's going to nest at White Goo, which is this blue spot right there. If you could keep us alive, then I know your word is your bond, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to be taking this star here, which was, this really nice, it's Big Boy Gibby now, but 9 industry star. So you can't follow him. And then over here, at the now Northeast Gibbs, I had a guy on route, and he sent other people into it, and I blew them up, of course. He said, oh, did you attack me? I guess this means your word isn't your bond. Then why would you do that? I trusted you. Blah, 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 blah. Wait, never mind. I attacked you. I was wrong. But then he continues to say, also, I'm killing a very nice person, personal vendetta, and all that shit. Don't you dare help him. He was supposed to be in the coffin now, and I was supposed to be to nail that coffin shut. I want him dead. Do not help him. And sorry for the clash of ships. And then, because this is like overnight, respond back, dummy. So, like, so I'm like, sorry, it was my birthday weekend. And then I went through and I came up with some stuff. I said some stuff. And then he doesn't respond to any of my planning because I blew him up in both spots. And then he went and, he went after a very nice person. We spent like 700 ships down there. And so I'm like, what are you doing? And so it's fine. You know what? I was going to leave the Traveling Gibbs alone. Now I'm going to kill him. Right. So anyway, so that is, and then he went kind of quiet. So I just went and like within 12 hours took over all those stars. I'm going to blow them up everywhere. I don't think I really want to go and press in on him. He actually could be AFK. So that's what happened in the middle. Just the sky is completely non-cycle. And so I shared that conversation with Lightweaver, who was like, "Oh my gosh, this guy's supposed to be my ally. What the hell is he doing, pissing off the big giants in the game?" And I said, "I don't know. Hey, you want to trade tech?" So he gave me two banking for basically text that his ally already had that just hadn't transferred it down to him. So I got it kind of for free because he could have got the text that I gave him from Kairos anyway. But that was great. And then I gave that banking to a very nice person who's going to be setting up on a very nice home down here and then continue to give me all his money every turn. But then I had a really good conversation with Lightweaver, and this is even more funny. This is like funny stuff. I'm not gonna lie. So we did some trading. He was like, "Yeah, that guy, I don't know what he's doing." Um, and then I said, "So, after you finish off the corner, then what? Who do you attack?" I said, "Most likely me, right? You're not going to kill my Rolus, your day one ally." And so then he made a stupid mistake, and he basically told me, um, "Yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right. You are a candidate, but you could squash me like a bug, so I don't love the idea of fighting you, even if you remind me of Gray Fox, who has screwed me over in the past." And then I'm like, um, okay, because I'm Gray Fox in the other videos. So, however, whatever. So that's what he said. So I said, yeah, why do you remind me? Is that the video? And he says, it wasn't me. It was my roommate who got me into the game. He showed me this game, and this guy was in multiple games and has opposed my roommate each time. Just the way I expanded fast and my tech advantage mostly. But yeah, my roommate was in the game from YouTube, and I talked to him almost every day about the game was going. It was super intriguing to watch. My roommate was Soaked Potato. So if you go back and watch the Gray Fox game, his roommate was Soaked Potato, who I mercilessly murdered before my own demise. Spoiler alert. But yeah, so that was how I took great. It made me really funny. And then he's like, "Yeah, great videos. Only thing that would make them better is if we had the other people do a video." So he's giving me feedback, which made me feel like he knows who I am. Um, yeah, yeah. Gray Fox would be a great caster storyteller for more games like this. Yeah, if only he were here. So anyway, um, I I don't know if he knows who I am, but that's kind of funny. Um, so then I went and I just basically said, "Hey, I'm killing Kronos because he sees I'm attacking." Yeah, and I'm saying I think he left the game. The other thing though I did then is had a conversation with the War Maiden and Wizard, and basically um, they gave me a bunch of money, said sorry for your loss, and I basically traded tech with them too. So I got War Maiden up to weapons 15. I gave him some manufacture. He sent me like 2,500 gold or a lot. And so now it's weapon 15 versus weapon 15. I'll next cycle give him even more because so he's got like almost 10,000 against 11,000. So I'll help him just like with this little cluster here. I'll go ahead and start attacking Lightweaver because Lightweaver said once I finish him off, I'll probably attack you. I'm like, all right. But War Maiden said, "Hey, when I'm done, I'm going to move north and kill my Rolus." I'm like, okay, I like that better, so I'll help you. So that's what I did, and it's clean, right? Like it's clean. There's no one behind. It's just he pushes north, and minimal defense is required. So in the southeast, I'm feeling really good now. Lightweaver actually was really fun to talk to. I had a good time with him. So no offense, but don't tell me you're going to kill me after you get stronger, because I'm not going to help you do that. A little tactical error. Kronos is kind of dead. I haven't heard from my Rolus. And then the only other thing going on, oh, yeah, so up in the north, I am making a little bit of progress, but see, here's the problem. To get over to Rager and Rubik through the middle, I got to go through Skryos and Guava Trader. And that's not going to be like overnight. Like so I'm sending in 3,300, which by the way is hilarious. So I'm gonna this fleet lands in 9 hours, but I'm gonna get my next weapon upgrade in 8. So I'm going to be at weapon level 21, and right now they're at 17, so I'll be 4 ahead, even if they get ahead with the fleets that... Oh, I didn't see that 58. Yeah, um, I may or may not... I'll pretty much wipe that star out, and that was warp gated. So I have another wave coming up, and so I'll take my little fleets, and I have to go, because that's Shepard's here, I have to kind of loop. I kind of have to loop up and through these guys to get there from the center. I can't just take a direct route. And so the center stuff's going to deal with Shepherd and Guava Trader, but I want this bottom section be able to keep the rest of my team alive because they're losing, they're dying. And so I came up with this route here that you see. It's one jump for Shepherd, one jump for Mustachio Mario before I'm into the fray. And this is where, like, so Mario had told me in the past, so I came up with the plan, said, here's what I'm going to do, but I like my stars. I could not do that, but like, don't you want me there sooner? He says, enjoy your 1 star. Shake my head. I'll fix care. So I'm like, Mario, come on, work with me, my man. He's like, like losing 1 star to not be annihilated by the biggest threat in the game is a little short-sighted. So I'm like, fine, here, take Mario Land. Which he instantly is like all over. So whatever, dude. Like, okay. So I want him happy, and I want to take him to the end. But well, and I will. I'll do it if I can. But that type of stuff is just nonsense. But fine, enjoy your Mario Land. Cycle 24. Let's see. We left off down here in Mario Land, and you know, he gave up 2 stars, and basically the conversation with Mario and I was that we didn't trust Shepard to actually know how to use a warp gate or build one or build fleets, which he actually finally did do. He finally did build enough fleets, but within 24 hours, he then also sent me a message saying he's going to be killed up top. He wants me to win. Just take my stars. So Mario and I are going to take his stars, which is fine. The only problem is now he's our 3rd player, and so we don't have someone on terraforming. So I need a 3rd. But and then, you know, so I give up now Brother Luigi and Mario Land to Mario, but that's fine. And I have my first vision up here, which, you know, I'm right on the edge. One more jump and I'll be able to see really more what's going on. But I do have now basically, you know, 1 to 2,000 fleets every 6 to 8 hours. And that's coming from this cluster, my kind of initial kind of well built up cluster down here. And I'm starting to, you know, pick off some of the easy Shepherd stars, but he's really, really random in how his carriers move around. Like, why is this guy going backwards? And so, so yeah, a little bit of confusion, but that's what's happening down there. Up in the center, this is another good reason for Shepard to give up his stars, because he made a mistake. He sent this carrier here to a star without a warp gate from a warp gate, and then Guava Trader was able to leapfrog over and take his star. So now we've got Guava Trader kind of in the heart of things with great vision and position, which is unfortunate. We'll recover that, but just, you know, that's the type of thing, just tactical mistakes that'll be nice to have cleaned up. I was able to make a couple of hops here, and I was going to keep pressing in, but then I thought, you know what, this might be a good place to kind of just hold the line here for a bit and take easy stars. So because my thinking was, you got 2,000, so there's 7,000 fleets there, plus then I'm getting exposed there. I don't want them just to be able to pivot and easily push in all one direction. What I thought made more sense was this was a warp gated star from Kronos that I knew he's more AFK than active. So I used that to jump right into the heart of Skryos and then like shoot out 5 different or 4 different carriers to take some nearby stars. So I'll just balloon out from here, take easy stars, and really put a cripple on Skryos and slow him down. And so I felt like that was a better use of my fleets, taking away, so what's it, 5, 10, 15, 18, 20, taking away 20 industry and putting it on my side, and then I'll probably be able to grow from there as well. So that was a good little move. I want to get rid of these stars, but I'm getting into position. I was able to, I'm change the name to Word is Bond. I was able to jump over to this cluster, do a little bit of damage. Again, I'm trying not to overcommit up here because this is where I need most of my fleets at. But I figure any easy stars I can get along the way is just going to pay dividends down the road. Okay, so that's the middle. Down in the southeast. So the last we left it, I'm with War Maiden against Light Weaver. And that makes sense, except for the fact that War Maiden is also not faring well, even with my advanced tech. So it's 15,300 an hour to 11,100, and he's just clearly giving up some stupid things. And I watched him in action over in this section, he's just not playing very much, and so he's going to get eaten a lot. So I sent Lightweaver a question, and basically said, hey, can we not attack? And I said, well, okay, actually, I think I will. Sorry, I'm waffling. And then I said, hey, I'm waffling again. I want to work with you. He communicates well. He's active. He's a good grasp of the game. And position-wise, he's ideal. But here's why I attacked you. And so that's why I did it. But looking at the board, if we work together, I'm pretty sure I can get you second place. And his partner third. But now that I pissed you off, you're probably not willing. So he hasn't replied back. But here's my thinking. With just Mario and I left over here, if I were to get him on board, he would, and he actually truly was on board and not just trying to kill me and appease me, which is really the tricky thing. If he jumped through Kronos' stars to the center and is pushed in, that would mean I wouldn't have to worry about any of this. He could just deal with it. And then I could just focus on these three players, which I think I can. I think I could do that. So if he were to help, I think I would be in good shape. I just need him not to attack me. And I don't still know what my Rollis is doing, and I'm not sure how. I think this is still kind of in a deadlock, which is probably okay. Although I want Tesla Samurai, and I want the Queen of Blades to do a slow push in, because that would mean Guava Trader needs to react and respond to that. So that's what I want to happen. Cycle 25. All right, the biggest news right now is overall still looking strong. Big target on my back. I did finally get to my launching point for engaging Rager. He does have, quite a bit of fleets flowing in and taking advantage of Shepard's AFK-ness. So I'm just throwing my fleets into him. If I can just stalemate right here, I'm thrilled. It looks like he's got a lot coming. I don't know. I just don't know how much is coming in, because for me it's spaced out like every 6 or 8 hours, another 1,000, another 600, another 1,000. So we'll see how this fares. And then in the center, Skrauss is active. He's responding, but he's very on his heels and not coming at me. And so that basically has allowed me all those initial stars I was able to go and grab. I'm just getting a ton of resources from, and he's not attacking me. So I'm continuing to pick away. I'm about to have a big fight here, and I should take, I'll take this big star and these surrounding. So again, my goal right now is just to take this cluster here, and I'm not going to push north because Lightweaver did reply. Here's the conversation with Lightweaver, and it was a good one. So I said I was waffling, and I want Kronos on, I want my Rollis on board, and he basically said, but he can get over the fact that I attacked him, and basically saying he needs War Maiden dead. That I'm like, absolutely not a problem. He wants some of the stars back. That's fine. For my Rollis, I said, here's my pros and cons. And he's like, you probably can't trust me. He's like, yeah, I'm weary, but so then we're talking, again, so good conversation. It gets down to yes, he's on board, and let's trade techs. And So yeah, so and I said one way we can get over the trust issue is sending sentries in each other's bases. So I'm sending a sentry here, and that'll give me pretty good vision of this part of the map, and I'll have good enough vision at the bottom. I told him he could reclaim this, and I think I told him he can go, yeah, go here, which will get him vision of this whole section. So I go, with that, you'll know I'm not going to stab you, and hopefully that appeases him. Um, and he's also he's attacking Kryos, who's not AFK, but um, yet. But I think he actually is away. Just not AI hasn't taken over. And then I see Myrolus, who looks like he's poised positioned to grab this. What happens with these 9,000 fleets here will be very telling. Ideally, those should be pushing up. If he's on board, he's pushing those up into here because this 3,000 is more than enough to finish off these clusters and head that way. If these head up that way, then we're all good. And then they can finish off this northern Skryos, and they can push up and basically deal with Guava Trader, which leaves us. And if they can deal with Guava Trader and everything north, then and then basically what we have is Shepard's around long enough to finish and kind of hold the line. Then we have Mario with so 27,370 against 30,430, but Mario's gonna be grabbing some nice Shepherd stars. So they're pretty even, but we're up 4 in weapons. And then that leaves me to go mano a mano with Rager, who again I'm ahead on in every aspect. But right now I'm split. So right now Rager has the edge. I need to basically refocus all of my efforts onto Rager. Once I do that, the game's over. Really, the game's over if Myrolus and Lightweaver are truly on board. If they're on board, they're probably getting second and third. If they attack me, I don't think they can get first anyway. And I told them, so I did open up this thread. And this is where like the politics of it. Myrolus says he's on board, and this is the most positive and vocal he's been. And I said, so I started trading tech with Lightweaver. I said, I just don't want to trade weapons beyond what Rager has until I see you actually engage them. I've just been burned too many times. If I give you my weapons, then you guys just kill me. And you give it to Rager and he just kills me. That's my only leverage right now. And I don't want to say this, but I feel I should. And I really wanted them to understand that if they are not really on board and if they do attack me, I will give the game to Rager because he's going to win anyway, and I will take it out on them to maintain second place. And I know it's a threat and people don't respond well to that, but I want them to understand I'm not trying to say it as a threat. I just want it to be clear. If they fight with me, they win. If they attack me, they lose. I just want that in their heads so they don't try anything. And I hope that it doesn't come off too strong, too off-putting. But I just didn't want them to think that I would fight to the death with Rager and they'd be able to gobble me up from the other side. That was what I was afraid that they were planning to do. So they may still be, and we'll see. But if they're on board, I think I've got this one in the bag. Cycle 26. If they're on board, I have this in the bag with assuming my one ally left does not flip on me, Mario, which he did last night. So let's go over the series of events. First of all, we'll start over here. We'll get to Mario, my boy Mario. I talked about watching those big fleets. They did come at me, which then I asked the question. He said, "Oh, I was in school. I was on my phone. It was a mistake." And then he asked a bunch of questions about how warp gates work, which tells me he's newer to the game, and that very well could have been what I'm viewing as a sign of aggression, could have been a mistake. And so I think I have Myrolus, and I think I have Lightweaver on board. And at this point, I 100% just have to assume that they are, because I can't posture anymore. And at this point, you can see I've routed everything back to head west, leaving the only thing out there. I've just got a few more. I'm helping finish off War Maiden just to get a few more extra stars, because last night Mario started to retreat from the front lines. I said, "What's going on?" He's like, "Well, they have 6,000 fleets." I'm like, "Just hold the line." And he says, I don't want to lose him. I'm like, okay. And then he's like, oh, hey, can I get Mario Land, this third star? I'm like, it wasn't our deal, but okay. And then he launched and he took this star. And then he launched and started taking my path along the way. I caught it right as he, like the hour he did it, and I retaliated, and then I had a conversation with him. And so he has said he's new to the game. Um, and so I said, what's happening? Oh, it's too far away from the center. He's sending 6,000 fleets. Okay. And then he said, I can have Mario Star, right? And then, so I said, then he attacks me. And he says, they're basically threatening me without using words. Feel free to murder me. I probably deserve it with how I play this game. I said, oh, I am. But why? Like, well, why not hold your ground? We're about to win. We got everyone on board. Like, all we have to do is hold the line. And so if you're angry, like, let me know. And so in the past, right, so if you remember any of the other videos I've done, Arglimir turned on me, my day one ally, like Mario is now. I'm like, is it me? Like, what am I doing? And I tried to take the lessons of that other game and said, okay, every step of the way, Mario, can I do anything? What can I do to help? And I intentionally did not be as vocal about things. I did not be mean to the other enemies. I'm like, what are you doing? And we've been tight. What's going on? I go, this was, it was your call on what we should do. And he said, I never said I made good decisions. I tried fighting them. It seemed like their ships just doubled every second. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, if you're angry, like, if you're not angry, then just fight like a man. If you die, you die. But don't like attack me. Like that makes absolutely no sense. Like, well, they're going to kill me, so I'm going to kill my ally. Like, what? What? Like, what's the chain of thinking that makes you say, I like my ally. He's been a good ally. I'm not mad at him, but the enemy is really strong, and so I'll just kill my ally. Like, what? So, okay. So I'm like, listen, they're going to be thrown off by this. I forgive you, even though I don't. I'm going to kill him. I will kill him, but not today. I mean, but Mario, you're a dead man. But I forgive you. No, we all were. Just turn around your fleets and engage. And then, are we good? I think so. And then, more conversations. And he said, hey, can we have a mini fight down here? So we exchange stars so it looks like we're fighting. I'm like, no, no. Like, we're in the fight for the game. We don't need to play games. Like, just turn around and fight. They're coming to kill you. So, and then I sent him money, and he wouldn't send me manufacturing. He said, let me get more ships up north first. So he sent my money back. So I shared this with the guys out west. Lightweaver's on board. Like they're on board. I said, if you're going to attack me, like do it now because now is the time. And he didn't. So, that was kind of a test that he passed. So what's going on over here? I'm completely retreating from this front lines and I'm just regrouping. And so this cluster is just regrouping. Mario, and so what's happening is Rubik is kind of trying to come through and I'm sure he's going to try to make a beeline to me. At some point, Mario is going to have to kill him. Meanwhile, Rager got to the middle because Shepard is basically AFK except his carriers are on random, like looping backwards path. So like I keep taking a star and then he'll send like 900 fleets back at it. Like he'll like go from here to 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 like I think he just like randomly had a seizure as he was like doing his waypoints. And so I keep trying to take the stars he said to take, but then he just circles back around and kills me. I don't think he's intentionally doing it, but then again, he also could have killed off Guava Trader and he retreated. So he's I don't know what he's doing either, but he won't respond to me. I think he's AFK. So what I did now down here is so this section's going to be up here. This section here, these two sections here will fight off the center, and then the rest of it will go up north. So I don't think this is going to be an overwhelming number of fleets. If anything, he's going to help me kill off some of Shepard's random fleets, and I'll just be able to fight the enemy. So I think that's actually kind of a blessing in disguise, to be honest. And then up north, I was able to finish off most of all of the Skryos area. He's been passively sitting. He's got one intimidating um, group of fleets left. That is 60, two-thirds of his entire arsenal right on this one spot. Um, Guava Trader finally did come in. I did the math. I'm going to be able to block it. And he attacked here. So here's the thing. Now that I'm no longer on the offensive, right? I no longer need to make any forward progress until the cavalry arrives. Before I was trying to chip away, chip away, chip away at stars. Now it's no problem, right? No, I do not need to push into this. I need just to defend. I am growing stronger. So Rager is by far the closest, and I'm still, as soon as I get my manufacturing upgrades, I'll be even pulling further and further ahead. I'm already 4 weapons ahead. I get another one. I'll be 5 weapons ahead and growing because he's neglected signs. I've almost double his signs. So that's going to make them pushing into me incredibly difficult, even if they have what looks on like if you just look at numbers, you're like, oh crap, I'm screwed. But I only need, for example, he's sending 1,000 fleets. I only had to send over 700 to be able to defend it because I just outgunned them. Over here, he's sending 9,000 fleets almost, 88,000. I only need to send 4,000 from here to cover it, plus some over here. It's such a huge advantage to have this weapons lead. Now again, if they just like blitzkrieg, and just send in the 11,000, just send it all, which if they all attacked at once right now, I would absolutely lose this front. But it's 3 people, they're not coordinated, they're not all on online at the same time. So for now, looks like I'm gonna be able to hold tight. And if I can even if I lose a little ground, honestly, even if I lose this whole northern region, as long as I don't lose my base down here, I'll be okay. Assuming the cavalry comes and assuming Mario actually does turn around and fight. So it got way more interesting. We'll see what happens, but this game is not over yet. Thanks, Mario, for making it interesting. Cycle 27. Not to be outdone by the lunacy of Mario attacking me. It was time that the rest of the board flipped as well. So I woke up this morning and I see Lightweaver, of course, attacking. I see Myrolus attacking up here. I had sent a note before I went to bed that I told him, next 24 hours is going to be really telling because I've noticed Myrolus has yet to attack Skryos. Skryos clearly thinks he's on board. He said he mistakenly sent the fleets towards me because he was in class. But Lightweaver had told me before that, he's not responsive because he works 4 10-hour shifts for work. I'm like, all right, is he a student or does he work? So that didn't jive. And so I was suspicious, but because Mario had flipped, before that, I had been putting up some defenses on my eastern side because I was not sure they were with me. But then I just had to go with it and say, I hope they are, and cross my fingers because all hell had broken loose. So here we go, right? I think I can outplay these guys on the right. Lightweaver he doesn't hardly any economy. He doesn't understand the value of it or the value of the difference in weapons. I do think the terraforming and the manufacturing is going to ultimately hurt me, but I don't know. So at this point now, I basically have this section of my galaxy going to try to hold off Lightweaver, which is not probably enough, but I'm going to hope that it is. And my win condition now, when you look at the leaderboard, I'm 208. I only need 290. So I need, what is that, 82 more to go? Lightweaver has 104. So in theory, I could not take one more star, kill Lightweaver, and win, which is probably what I would like to have happen, although I think he's a better player. But me going into Myrolus just makes me vulnerable to all flanks. If I can focus on sweeping around this way, I can just hold everywhere else. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm still going to have to push back. So anyway, I'm going to lose some stars, but it's a mess right now, and I need things to stabilize. I'm going to lose some stars up here. Actually, he's got the much larger fleet count coming at me. You got this giant amount of fleets sitting here, and I'm not super well prepared. I did Guava Trader. He is still sending stuff at me. I've done some I've done some work on his ships. So, I've done some work, but I'm just defending and holding here, and then I'm just going to continue to try to hold it. Skryos is still not attacked. I'm hoping he's AFK. I really am, because that would be a godsend. Guava Trader I made friendly. I'm hoping, with his attacks here that maybe Guava Trader will, but he's not going to do much. Um, so it's hold up north. Just hold as best you can. Down here, I'm going to try to push back. I gave everything I've got to Mario. Mario and I are back. It's us against the world. Um, he's not weak, but hopefully, but he's scared. So it doesn't matter now, because you can see now. You know what? All right, Mario, this is what happens. You flip onto one person on your side, and guess what? The enemy, as soon as they see an opportunity, attacks you. So he's going to lose a lot of stars too, but I guess it is what it is. Honestly, again, if I can just hold this line here, just capture this section back and just hold. Even if Mario dies, you got what coming to you, just hold and push in the east, 82 stars to victory. Actually, I don't even need that many, because there's another just within this section here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's just say I get, a dozen or so here. I probably just need this section on the bottom. I don't need that much, and I'm really far ahead. And my weapons, I've been on weapons this whole damn game. Yeah, I'm 15 minutes from weapons 28, from weapons 29. He's on 24. So I'll be again 4 ahead of him, or actually will be 5 ahead, and then over here though, I'm going to end up being 7 ahead. So that's the game. It's if anyone would look at the leaderboard and just say, oh yeah, you got a 7 weapon lead and you got many stars, no way you can lose. But it's hard when you're fighting the whole world. The only other thing of note, it looks like in the northeast, the Queen of Blades and Tesla Samurai are finally making headway and pushing them back up top, which means this ally here is falling. One I could never say his name, and Drakenfire. So if those two fall, these two are going to push into then Guava Trader. And if that happens, that gives me a little bit more relief as well. So I'm not dead yet, but it's going to be interesting. Cycle 28. Things continue to get interesting, and let me start off with a note from Mario. I sent Mario a note yesterday and said, hey, I'm about to clear out this area here. How's it going with Rubik? And he said, not good, and I've been at work. To quote you, I said, shake my head. He said, shake my head. It's been fun playing with you, and I learned a bunch of fun stuff for next game if I play again, but I think you're just using me to win. I would have most of my ships up north defending, and then you just come out east with 4,000 ships in attack. And because there's no ships around and no one could get to the south fast enough, you'd get to 290 and win. To that, my head literally exploded. So here's a guy that I've been allies with since day one, who's concerned I might win. I'm his only ally, and he's concerned I might win. So you know what this guy does? He full on attacked me again. He took this entire section and then some. I've actually been reclaiming it. I go, isn't that good if we win? Their alliance wins. Now the enemy's going to win. Is that better? Stop attacking me. I have 5 people attacking me. You're literally attacking me out of fear that I'll win, and would rather die to the enemy and have any of them win than me. I don't get it. So I sent another note, which I'll show you in a second. It says, fine, I'll stop attacking. And I feel bad. I call him an idiot. But then he gave him our weapons, like one of them. He apologizes. He's like, you might have done well this game, but I didn't. So I explained to him, like, this is a team game. Not everyone on the team can be the top player. He played a huge role in my success. He was active. He traded fast. He actually didn't do a bad job at all. But he has this misconception that if his team wins, that's not him being successful. Sometimes you're in a support role. And so, anyway, I think this game's now over. I don't think I can recover because he attacked me and then didn't, and then he attacked me again, and then he started researching experiments. Why? So the thread that he mentioned was that I was accused by a few people on the north of multi-account, like having multiple accounts playing them, which is honestly a bit insulting. And I get it. When I was in the Gray Ghost game, I actually did a similar thing, and then I felt bad about it. Um, but I was like, all right, tell me why. Um, And it says, please explain how every single one of those accounts stayed playing to the very end and sacrificed their planets and the game for you. And explain how Blue Star, who once got to 20 planets, never invested another cent in their own infrastructure. Zero progress. Yet you had way less planets, which actually is the truth. Throughout that time, advanced way faster. Um, it's Captain Obvious that funds was going your way. Nice try, but it's plain as day that you are multi-accounting. Um, which like you can't disprove that. But first of all, it's against the rules to do that. So I explained, like Banshee got stuck behind his ally Scully. He was asking, to attack Mario, or Mario, who they wanted to attack more, and Mario said he wanted to kill Banshee. So I think, okay, he did. The Star Alliance was made up of new players. Shepard, I've been complaining about him all game. Um, and I just had a game where my allies turned on me. I said, I'm not going to make that mistake. So this game, I really tried hard to say, okay, you guys in the north, do what you need to do. Let me know if I can help. And I'm just going to focus on pushing east. And they, they, they did, but anyway. So I went and I wrote a lot. You can pause and read if you're really interested. But there's, and then I said, here's how easy it is to make false accusations. If anything, Rager Rubik has a second account, which is Mario. Like, why else would Mario not be able to win with a 3-weapon lead and more fleets? Why else would he refuse to allow me to come north to help? And then the only reason, right? And then why would he attack me? The only reason he must be controlled by the other team, right? Like it's nonsensical. And of course, I don't believe that to be true. I believe Mario's just a newer player and doesn't grasp the game that well. It doesn't, but whatever. Um, so, you know, that's kind of the bigger picture things going on. Um, I'll try to recover here. I was able to fend off this kind of shepherd area, and I'll push him back, and I'll get to this choke point. It doesn't really matter. Um, I'm holding still here. Skryos finally woke up and he's going to take a star. The East is coming in. They took all of these here. They'll probably continue to push. Um, Lightweaver got some stars. I fended off more than I thought I could. Um, so yeah, it's an uphill battle, and I don't think I could win because all I can do is research one thing at a time, and I have an ally who is still attacking me because he's afraid I'll win. He would rather the people attacking him win, I guess. And I mean, I think what this shows is the importance of finding a good ally. And I knew Mario wouldn't be good, Shepard wouldn't be good early on, which is why I was looking for other allies. I just never could find anyone. Skilly and Alderaan were fine, but they were too far away and I couldn't help them enough. Um, and then I tried to find some folks in the middle, but I could never make that happen. Um, and I guess the one other thing is Lightweaver. Um, so Lightweaver wrote me this, and basically, they said they've been planning from the beginning to betray me. I made a mistake with not listening to War Maiden and Wizard, which I agree with him completely. I didn't know they were on side, and I told him the reason I didn't stay with them is because they weren't active enough, and I was afraid that it was going to be. I was trying to get Lightweaver on my side because I figured if Lightweaver would actually join me, I had a chance. But I felt like they would never win the battle, and then I would have them. I would have be in the situation that I'm in. So the reason that I did that was because I was trying to sway Lightweaver. I didn't know that he had some um, role playing fantasy, and his goal of the game is not to win. His goal of the game, because his roommate was a guy from a prior game, his goal of the game was for me to die, and I didn't know that. I was suspect of him, but I was still hopeful that he would rather win, or at least rather get rank points, and that's bad on me. I should have stuck with my first gut, which was I just need to take him out. So anyway, that's it for today. Cycle 30. This is really the game is now over. We'll play it out. Mario, I'm getting his stars back, but he's getting killed off. I was able to fend off this section here, but now the entire north, actually everyone else has all launched on me, so I'm losing all my northern stars. I'm trying to negotiate, trying to at least stay in third. I mean, it's going to take a little bit of time to kill me off. I'm not, so I still have a lot of stuff. It's just I don't have enough stuff to fend off everybody, and everybody's attacking me. What I'm planning to do now is just not resist Rager because he's gonna win, and I want him to win as quick as possible. Um, and so I'm gonna just take out on my Rollus who, and Lightweaver. So I figure I'll just move everything east, take as much of them as I can, and let Rager grow as quick as possible. So I'll put up a resistance for everybody else, but not him. Then the only other note was the update on the accusations of multi-hacking. I sent the video out to everybody, the first half of this video, and said just watch that. You think I cheated and I just had a really good start. So watch the video, and they did. At least Rubik did it, and he apologized. Day 31, more of the same. Mario continues to get consumed. I'm just building up my northern defenses along this wall. I asked Rager to not go beyond this star here. He's messing around with me now, renaming stars, not yours anymore. Thumbs down. HRE flees for the hill. So that's kind of funny. Shall I stop here? I said, yes, please stop there. These stars suck. You don't want them. Thanks, bro. This is a little fun. But I'm like 99% sure, of course, he's going to just come kill me. But I would love, see, now they're all kind of getting together, and I'm hoping that they start to clash a little bit, because at some point, once I'm out of the way, like, then now what are you going to do? So I'm giving up the middle and hoping that there's some clashing there, and hoping that the Northeast now, Tesla and Blade start hit Guava Trader, who doesn't seem to care about me, just care about them and losing his stars. He just wants to kill me, whatever. So yeah, and then I'm actually still losing a little ground in the East. So I'm just losing everywhere, but still overall, I'm okay. But so you never know, but more than likely I am dead unless someone has a big change of heart. Cycle 32, I tried to help encourage Lightweaver to have a change of heart, and he did consider it with my Rolus. They're in real life friends. I basically said, hey, you know what, Lightweaver, take all these stars north and have my Rolus take those. I'll give them to you for free. Just give me this band on the bottom. I'll help you attack these two guys down here, and you guys can just kind of have a wave, crash in. I'll help you win. And ultimately, he's like, nah, I don't want to. And so I'm like, all right, well, you know what? I'm still gonna just retreat. I'm giving him stars for free. I gave him all my weapons, and more than anything else, it's just to kind of see, he's the only one that's actually still talking to me. I just find it rude. Like, it's just a game. We'll see if it creates any disruptions. Guava Trader started to retreat. So here's his, where can you see it here? He's got his 9,000, 9,000 fleets retreating to deal with up north, which he should have seen a while ago. But it doesn't matter. I'm dead. My last hope was these guys here would agree just to consume like half of me and not all of me, and I could fend these guys off until. But yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best now to help Lightweaver and my Rolus get as high on the leaderboard, and maybe Rager doesn't win, but yeah, now I'm dead. Cycle 33. So we are now fully into Operation Lightweaver. I am fully committed to trying to help him win. And when you look, between the two of us alone, he's got enough stars to win. If you add his in real life best friend, my Rolus, and if he gave some stars, he could easily win. I am retreating and just giving him all these stars for no loss. Meanwhile, I'm doing everything I can to hold against Rager. I'm going to go ahead and also I'm gonna take on the warp gates, but I'm gonna retreat my fleets, and I'm gonna also want Rubik to get as many stars as he can, because every star that Rubik gets is one star that Rager isn't. So I think they're being a bit short-sighted and cocky. So yeah, so my goal now is to give stars to everyone but Rager, hold back Rager, and as quickly as possible allow Lightweaver to take my stars. Cycle 35, Lightweaver continues to grab my stars as aggressively as he can. Apparently he had some big exam he had to take and was mostly away yesterday. So hopefully today he can be a little more aggressive, taking my stars. I'm doing the best I can to hold off against Rager and Rubik. They at this point I'm so outnumbered. Like he's just Rager alone has got 100,000, more than 100,000 fleets than me, and Rubik, is already ahead of me as well. So I'm a bit concerned because those guys knows what they're doing, and Lightweaver's still new. So even though I'm giving him a lot of stuff, I don't know that he'll know how to use it. And his buddy Myrolus similarly is getting stronger, but I told him they need to jump onto weapons, and they haven't done that yet. I actually gave him weapons 38, so I'm afraid that he's starting to fall behind. But we're going to do our best to help Lightweaver win, or actually I don't really care if Lightweaver wins, just that Rager loses. We'll see if that works. All right, we're going to fast forward to cycle 38. I have resigned from the game. I asked Lightweaver, I'm like, hey, like you're really not you're not taking my stars, and um, it doesn't seem like you even want to win. And he's like, haha, yeah, I tricked you again. I don't want to win. I can't believe it took you this long to figure it out. It's like, oh, okay. So essentially what we have here is we have Rager, Rubik, Guava Trader, Skryos, Myrolus, Lightweaver, and all of them want Rager to win. So, okay, Rager's going to win. And there we have it. In shocking news, Rager wins. Lightweaver does get second place, so good job, Lightweaver. Rubik gets third, so I'll get rank points. Everyone else gets absolutely nothing. But, again, this is a great example of the value and importance of having a good alliance, having people that you can work with, and that know how to play through the end game. So Rager and Rubik from early on were in a commanding position. They were able to get a strong alliance with Guava Trader, who once again was a non-factor at the end and gave up his stars for his alliance gaining nothing. Same with Skryos. But they did their job. They were good allies in that they helped Rager and Rubik get their points. And Lightweaver was the benefactor of having a weak Eastern alliance and me giving a bunch of his stars so he could get up the leaderboard. So there we have it. Hope this was helpful, entertaining, educational, and see you in the next game. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, click on the link for the next episode, and don't forget to click subscribe for more content.